What started with high hopes of everyone becoming a millionaire in just 1 year's time has absolutely crashed, burned, and exploded in an epic fashion.
The crypto staking DAO.
It took the crypto DeFi 2.0 space by storm in early November because of its unfathomable APY numbers.
So important for the culture.
Now, it all started with the Olympus DAO on the Ethereum blockchain, which was quickly followed and forked by many others. Most notably, of course, Time Wonderland, which grew in popularity exponentially in November.
Is it a Ponzi?
Yeah, well, I guess.
These weren't just some random microcap projects either. I mean, the highest market cap Olympus DAO achieved was over $4 billion. And Wonderland went as high as $2 billion. Now, it didn't take long for a fork to be a scam and a rug pull. On November 18th, a project called snowdog was released. It was created by the snowbank DAO, which was on the Avalanche blockchain. 7 days later, snowdog rugged. What? Shortly thereafter, snowbank died off. When December rolled around, things changed fast. Forks of Olympus and Time Wonderland were absolutely everywhere. Quickly, over 20 forks on just the Avalanche blockchain alone were created and ready to be launched.
Not even a scheme per se, it's
Free real estate.
Most, which of course were quick cash grabs after promises of a 5-day ROI of over 300%.
Our job blows yours out of the water.
And total APY of just gazillions of %. And along this journey, the story of Jade Protocol is a fairly intriguing one. It's notable because they had some marketing that created some insane, unbelievable hype. They were giving away millions of dollars and everything seemed to be fine and well. Until the devs kind of screwed it up.
You're not that guy.
They treated their community like absolute crap. FUD started to spill in. Once FUD takes over a project like a degen play, if you don't take action and correct it quick, it is just all but over, man. So for Jade Protocol, just being jerks pretty much single-handedly took that project downhill. Now, one of my favorite DAOs that I messed around with, Life DAO, had a billboard in New York City. They yanked the cord a day later.
Oh, it went to zero!
I do that.
His DAOs rugged left and right throughout December. There were a few legit ones, and they were really struggling to survive. Despite their good team, good community, and good intentions. And there's a reason for that. Now, there's many flaws with the DAO model, but there was one massive high-level flaw that nobody could overcome. Inflation. Despite buybacks and burns, it just wasn't enough as too many bonds or mints were made, which naturally brought down the price through the countless tokens entering circulation, and it couldn't be stopped. And as the overall market crashed, the top DAOs like Olympus and Wonderland Time were all on a slight downtrend. Now, the wild movie of the past 10 weeks has finally hit a climax and basically a conclusion. Just a few weeks ago, all liquidity was moved from Trader Joe to SushiSwap, and you could directly buy wrapped memo, which is what you would get if you bought Time, wrapped it, and then staked it. So it removed the manual labor of actually having to go through that and pay some of those transaction fees, and by buying just wrapped memo, it's essentially evolved into a auto-staking rebase token, which is actually just about the same as Titano Finance, and that's an auto-staking project on Binance Smart Chain. It promises over 102,000% APY, and although it's had some dips, as evidenced by my loss on my $50 investment, Titano is actually holding pretty strong right now. However, Time Wonderland has only gotten worse since wrapped memo has been introduced as the main token for Time Wonderland. Daniele, who is the founder and head of Time Wonderland, employed a man that went by the name of Sifu on Twitter. Now, Sifu managed the treasury of Time Wonderland, which is hundreds of millions of dollars, and at one point even surpassed $1 billion. You might think, okay, he's just a CFO. It starts to get crazy right about now. Sifu was and is a criminal. Take a look at these tweets by ZachXBT on Twitter, who wrote a thread confirming that Sifu was a guy named Michael. Now, Michael's name before that was Omar, and under that name, he was charged for multiple accounts of online fraud.
So yeah, they hit me with that one.
Back in the late 2000s, and even had a stint in jail for 18 months for credit card fraud. Then in 2013, he co-founded a Canadian crypto exchange called Quadrigix with a guy named Gerald Cotton. And at one point, this exchange was actually the biggest in Canada. Now, reading this article on Decrypt.com, we discover how it disappeared in 2019 along with its founder, Gerald Cotton.
That's suspicious.
Mr. Cotton conveniently died at the age of 30 as the company was rumored to be having a lot of financial trouble and undergoing bankruptcy. Now, supposedly, our buddy Sifu, or Michael, or really Omar, left just a few months before the rug went down. And I'm saying it's a rug because you can speculate that the death of Cotton was quite strange. There's a lot of missing pieces. Just reading through this article and some other articles online, who knows if they're really true, but something with this much speculation We'll leave it at that. After the strange death of Cotton, it was discovered a couple months later that the 2 cold storage wallets for the exchange that had most of the funds were absolutely wiped clean. It was supposed to contain over $145 million worth of people's money. Now, who knows if there's actually that much on there because of the financial troubles that the exchange was having, but nonetheless, it was wiped clean. Now, if that wasn't enough already, the absolute cherry on top of all of this is that the man behind Time Wonderland, the genius himself, Daniele Sesta,
We all love the Ponzu, right?
actually knew about all this. But maybe letting an online fraud artist have control over hundreds of millions of dollars isn't a good idea. That might be far-fetched. I don't know.
Stupid.
And in fact, in the past week, Sifu had even transferred money out of the treasury into his own account. He was leveraging Time Wonderland to go up. He needed the money so it wouldn't get liquidated because the price has continued on a steady decline before all this happened and everything dropped like a rock. The thing is, he did get liquidated, and he lost some of the treasury's funds. Now, this was found by a guy on Twitter. Addresses and everything seem to line up. I haven't seen too many people talk about it, so I don't know if it's 100% legit, but I'm just putting it out there. Now, Sesta himself was actually leveraging Time Wonderland, but it was with his own money, and he got liquidated and lost $15 million a few days prior to this whole drama. And they were really betting on this project to rise up and get to those all-time highs that they had, but with the market crash and the dip and this recent news,
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't really think anybody saw this happening in Time Wonderland in this fashion. I mean, it had a realistic APY of 89,000.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
It was run by the man who everybody thought was a genius, but yet it failed. So all I can say is be careful, and if it's too good to be true,
Run.
watch this video next.